There is a slight sourness listed on the website for this, and I love the idea that they kind of just added that afterwards after getting complaints. Hi guys, it's Jim here with another episode of Beers of the British Isles. On this episode, on this video, we are going back to Belgium via Chicago with another Goose Island beer. Now, a couple of months ago, I did a tasting video of a beer called Matilda, a Belgian style beer from Goose Island. But in the comments of that video, you'll see that one of my subscribers, Ash S at the Bear Tribe Brewery, I think on YouTube, told me that shock horror, I'd actually picked the wrong Goose Island Belgian style ripoff, and what I should be drinking instead is Sofie, the lighter of the two beers. Makes sense. I don't know how this beer slipped my my grasp. Sofie's the most popular name of guest on this YouTube channel after all. It's also the name of my now wife. Yes, that's it guys, I got married. That's why there's been a little lag in getting videos out to you. But yeah, I got married in lockdown Britain. Was it a wonderful day? Yes, it was. Thank you very much for asking. It was a wonderful day. But I digress. We didn't come here to learn about my socially distanced, sparsely attended wedding. We came to find out about this Sofie. So this is a Belgian style, very important, farmhouse ale. I believe it's a saison. I'll double check that and write it down. Saison, Belgian style, 6.5% ABV, so it's a bit of a biggie for having such a small bottle. I like the brand, it's very understated. This one in particular is kind of cool because it reminds me of the Goose Island classic, the Goose IPA with the green and the white. It's got a cool bottle. I have so much to say about this beer and its marketing spiel and its branding before I start, but I'm going to spare you those minutes of your life that you'll never get back and just dig in. Okay, we're in the glass. I've got myself a nice glass of Sofie. It looks great. It's really very clear, despite all that jostling around of it I just did earlier. Head not great, it's kind of disappeared. It's very well carbonated. I think the head is probably suffering from the pH. Maybe I'm going to give it credit there and say that I'm not too bothered about the head on this one. This is, like I say, this is a Belgian style, very important because it's not brewed in Belgium. Belgian style farmhouse saison, and this is, it's kind of a style that you'll see a lot because it's kind of a bit of a catch-all style, really. You know, a saison, kind of just like a blonde ale, a blonde Belgian ale, slightly soured, and the farmhouse, I guess, just sort of reinforces that. That's what we've come to know of farmhouse beers. There is a slight sourness listed on the website for this, and I love the idea that they kind of just added that afterwards after getting complaints. It certainly seems like that was the case. But I can tell this beer is going to be sour because I can smell it already. I can kind of smell that butyric, acidy kind of smell. You know, that kind of, my brother-in-law would describe it as farmy, farmhouse. It's a bit sort of vomity smelling, but it's not, it's not enough to turn your stomach, just enough to let you know what you're about to get into. So, yeah. That's interesting, actually. So what I'm actually getting when you kind of look a little bit closer in this is a bit of a grape aroma. Now this is wine barrel aged, so perhaps that's what it is. Maybe I'm getting a sort of a bit of a grapiness, bit of a a sherry-like character, because it's very, very sweet aroma actually, and it's quite interesting. So here's to us. I'm gonna jump in here. Ooh. All right. So that is interesting. What I always say. That's cool because it does have that tartness. Like I say, it has the tartness that you're expecting from the aroma, but the grapey, sort of the jammy aroma sort of sinks in as well in the flavor. So it's much softer than I would have imagined. Yeah, and those flavors, like I say, those grapey flavors kind of give way to a sort of a jammy flavor. I'm almost getting like a bit of a, not strawberry, maybe a touch of raspberry, but I'm not a big raspberry fan, so I'm not too familiar with that flavor myself. But this is weird. So I think that what you're getting there is some slight phenolic character from the barrels, maybe even from the yeast. I'm not sure what yeast was used in this. But you've also got that sourness, probably again from the barrels, from the yeast. Everything else is kind of playing second fiddle. Like I say, this is a Belgian style and they've used Amarillo hops. I don't know why. That's clearly American. But all in all, this is coming together to make something kind of interesting, kind of cool. All right, let's sum this one up then. Let's sum up Sofie. Before I do, I'm going to say, I mentioned at the start of the video, I had a lot to say about this beer before I even got into it. And that's because on the website, there's a hell of a lot of word soup on that website about this beer. If you read it for long enough, it's hard to find a flavor that they don't think is going to be in there. And it's a complex beer, don't get me wrong. I think that they have achieved something here. But, you know, there are a lot of comparisons to champagne and champagne just comes over and over again. And I don't think that's quite what it is. What it is a reasonably bodied beer with, I guess, decent head now, actually. The head's sort of giving a little puff up, giving a little go here, with a really complex flavour. There is a sourness to it that I think they've achieved very well, you know, using that barrel yeast dynamic. Probably more the yeast than the barrel, I would say, because it doesn't taste really wild. It's just ever so subtly sour. When a beer is as commercial as this, let's say, is listed as sour, I usually imagine it's going to be very one-dimensional. That's not what this is. It's actually very, very deep. It's got a real depth to the sourness in this. Yeah, like I say, that aroma is really interesting. It's got a grape backbone to it, along with that slightly acidic smell that I was talking about earlier. I also remembered, just as I was sort of mulling this one over, that this is brewed with orange peel in it. I'm not getting loads of orange peel, but if this was aged for a significant period of time, you can almost see what would be the ghost of orange peel, if that makes any sense to anyone except me, or even, I'm not sure I understand what I'm talking about there. But you know, as beers age, the flavors take on a more roundedness. So that bitter, sort of pithy orange peel that you might be expecting isn't in here, but what you do get is kind of a real sort of fruity, just a real fruity palate that really is quite subdued. they've achieved quite a lot here, I think. And like I say, I came into this wanting to slag it off. I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up and say I'd written this beer off completely at the start of this, which is why I was kind of being nice about the label and stuff, because I did want to have something good to say about it, because I thought it was going to be crap, but it isn't. In fact, if I were to give this beer a rating from 0 to 10, comparing it to what they say it's going to be, sort of leaving out some of the marketing spiel, I'm going to give this beer actually an 8. I think they've done something good with this. Definitely worth a purchase. I think this is about £3 from a lot of places. So it's very available. Go grab yourself one and just see what you think, and let me know what you think, because it's interesting, it's complex, and it's not at all what I thought it was going to be. So do head down to the supermarket, grab yourself a Sofie. If you like it, definitely head down to your bottle shop and ask them for something similar. Saison is one of the richest beer styles in the world, and you could explore that for years and years and still not have any idea of what it actually means. So until then, guys, thanks for watching. Cheers.